to evaluate expressions. So please set your notes up and then we'll begin. You're familiar with the order of operations, but we'll just review that the first thing that we're looking for are parentheses or grouping symbols. The next thing in the list, in order of importance, are exponents. Then multiplication or division left to right. And the last thing we look for is addition or subtraction, and again, this is left to right. So here's our first example. When I do the examples, I like to think of a funnel that funnels down more narrow until it comes down to the final answer. I'm also going to highlight what I'm looking at, what I found. And here I'll stop this right there because I highlighted 3 plus 2 because it's in parentheses. I'm starting at the top of my list. And I found some parentheses, so that's what I'm going to do first, and everything else just gets copied down. So the 8 times gets copied down, then minus 12 gets copied down. I found no exponents, so the next thing that I found was multiplication and division. So that's what I highlighted. And then I carry out that computation and copy down the rest. All we have left is subtraction. So the answer is 28, and it ends up looking like a funnel, where at the bottom of the funnel the number pours out. So example 2. Example 2 is 4 times 3 plus 2 times 9 minus 40. I don't see any parentheses or grouping symbols. I don't see any exponents. So the first thing that I've noticed looking left to right is multiplication, so that's what I've highlighted right there. I do 4 times 3 is 12. Copy everything else down exactly the same. Then I'm still looking left to right for multiplication division. I see some more multiplication. Copy everything else down except for I carry out the one operation that I am highlighting. Now I'm going to do addition left to right. And then I do it one more time. 30 minus 40 is negative 10. Example 3, we'll start to use more of the operations. We have 3 plus 4, and this is actually a grouping symbol, that division underneath the 3 plus 4. So these are division, but they're also considered grouping symbols because there is a plus right there and because there is a minus right there. So that's what we're going to highlight first. So we'll do the grouping symbol on the left side, we'll do the grouping symbol on the right side. So you might want to write down a note. If there is addition or subtraction, or it could even be multiplication division or a square root, an exponent. If there is some computation with a division sign underneath the entire thing, it becomes a grouping symbol. That's a new type of grouping symbol that you haven't seen before, and we'll work on it more in class. You could put a question in the side, down the side, about that, because that tends to be pretty confusing. So the answer to example 3 was a fraction, 9/14. Okay, try to think about what we're going to highlight first. Is it going to be the 24, the -2, the -3, 10 squared, or the divided by 20? Maybe even write down a guess. Okay, let's look up here. It says parentheses, but I highlighted exponents. Think about why I didn't highlight these parentheses. There was no computation to do in here. It's just protecting that -3, and it's actually multiplication. So even though you see parentheses, there's nothing to do. There's no computation to do. So that's why we went down to exponents. Now I'm going to back this up just a little bit. You might wonder from our previous discussion why we didn't do this right here. Isn't that a grouping symbol? It was over here. It's not a grouping symbol because there is no computation right here. This is just 100 divided by 20. So now we have no parentheses or grouping symbols. We have no exponents. We're doing multiplication and division left to right. The first one we see is right here. That's multiplication. Now we're going to take care of the rest of our multiplication division. That's the last multiplication division that we have. It's 100 divided by 20, which is 5. And now we just finish off with addition or subtraction left to right. See if you can write in the conclusion section something you know is true about order of operations, something that you understand to be true.